Okay, so let's start this meeting for Thursday, April 4th. Roll call, please.
Mr. Merriman?
Here.
Mr. Mattern?
Here.
Dr. Scarpone?
Present.
Fiscal Officer Ms. Morrison? Present. Solicitor Mr. Lynn?
Present.
Mayor Mike Petrella? Absent. Administrator Mr. Kasegi?
Present.
Mr. DeStefano?
Here.
Mr. Spence?
Here.
And Mrs. Dameron?
Here.
I'll be sitting in for the mayor tonight. He took ill this afternoon. We'll have a moment of silence. Let's keep him in our prayers and everybody who's been touched by the floods in the Ohio Valley. And then we'll have the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, council, we need to approve 2 sets of minutes. Can I get a motion for the council meeting for March 7th, 2024?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Ms. Dameron?
Yay.
And can I get a motion also for the special council meeting for March 24th?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Sorry.
Okay, do we have any persons wishing to appear in front of council? All right, moving right along, I'll turn it over to our solicitor for a reading of Resolution 2024-17.
Resolution 2024, number 17, a resolution authorizing the Village of Wintersville to pay additional costs associated with the truck, equipment, and police cruiser, which exceeds the USDA Rural Development Combined Loan of $325,500 and a grant of $50,000 and declaring an emergency.
Do you need a motion to suspend the rules?
Yes.
Motion to suspend the rules?
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Motion to approve the resolution 2024-17?
So moved.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Okay, that's all resolutions and ordinances. Okay, the announcements. Cross Creek Tire Pickup will be Thursday, April 25th at the Cross Creek Garage from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We will also have the Steel Valley Antique Car Club Car Show, May 12th from 2 in the afternoon till 5, and that'll be right here in the village parking lot. We have the FOP Golf Outing, June 2nd at Spring Hills Golf Club. And we're going to start the spring bulk pickup June 2nd, June 10th, 17th, and 24th. Summer Parks program will start June 17th and continue through August 2nd. And it's going to go from 9 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon.
Question on the dates for the spring ball cleanup. You have the 2nd and the 9th.
Should be the 3rd.
Those are Sundays.
4 Mondays. It's going to be first Monday of every week of that month. So.
Okay, then those
June
dates
3rd.
are wrong. You should have the 3rd, the 10th,
Yeah.
the 17th, and the 24th. It has the 2nd and the 10th, so it'd be the 3rd.
Okay, spring bulk pickup will be June 3rd, June 10th, June 17th, and June 24th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hit the Summer Parks program already, and we have Thunder in the Ville, which will be June 28th and June 29th at the Jefferson County Air Park. And let's see, reports and communications. The magistrate report. The city revenue for the month was $10,189. The state revenue was $2,179. with a combined revenue of $12,452. Wintersville Police Report. We had 124 complaints, 65 traffic arrests, 2 criminal arrests, 12 juvenile cases, 164 incoming calls, and 2 canine requests. And Council also has in front of you the 2024 Wintersville Police Department nuisance calls for January, February, and beginning of March. And our code enforcement for the month of March, we had 17 licenses at $1,275 and 12 permits at $300, which totals out to be $1,575 on license and permits. Let me see. Okay, Mr. Locker, you have anything?
Thank you, Mayor, Assistant Mayor. Thank you, council members. Robert Lockhart, you're a representative to various agencies. Tonight I'll be talking first about my attendance at the Steel Valley Metro Transit Authority meeting January 17 this year. During that meeting, there was discussion with regard to some resolutions that were passed. The main thing was discussion pertaining to, hold on a second, please. With regard to presentation of the new representative from Mingo Junction, Ohio, to the board. His name is Kevin, not Kevin, but Michael, last name Burridge. He was be sworn in the following month at the meeting of March 21st, and that was accomplished. I mentioned that during the meeting. Mike Procky, the administrator of BHJ director, he introduced at the TAC meeting Ken Davis. He's the Weirton, West Virginia Transit Manager. And he presented his background information and projected some of the goals of the Transit Authority. I know the guy from the past when he was affiliated with the remodeling building with the hospital in Steubenville, Ohio. Very competent type guy. Cody, pardon me, I'm still getting over a flu. Cody Crisper, he's the transportation engineer along with Matt Townsend, another transportation engineer for BHJ. They presented information regarding a draft of the 2020 2000 current to 2050 transportation report, and that's a projection of the things that are being planned by BHJ for the community. I'll get into that next report. Market Street Bridge, with regard to that bridge, State of West Virginia has applied for an application submitted November 27 last year, whereby the information they set out in the actual application was quite detailed. They met all the requirements, fortunately, and it covers not only that bridge, but 2 other bridges in the state of West Virginia. But this bridge has got a priority because of the situation that's developed as far as it's deteriorated. $175 million has been set aside for that project on the federal level. The project of $87.5 million has been set aside for the bid portion of that. Additional $52,500,000 has been set aside from other federal funds for the project. And the state of West Virginia set aside $35 million for this bridge and other bridges within the state of West Virginia that need attention. So quite a bit of money has been incorporated into that application. And as of the last meeting, this is the January 31 meeting, but as of March 20, there has been no updated information regarding the status of the bridge with regard to destruction, relocation. Different sites are looking at down the road. Years ago, 20 years ago, when it was on that meeting, the second alternative was, was Market Street, Route 2, and Washington Street. That's where the bridge would cross there. Now they're looking, they brought that up, and they're talking about the northern end of Bollinsby, somewhere in that area, but they haven't got any sites set. As it's time, the money's been allocated, they're just hoping for the funding. And time will tell, I hopefully get it done in time, but they're progressing with regard to West Virginia. Other than Lover's Lane project was spelt out as the starting date and the plan overall by Mike Dolak, a Steubenville engineer. And that was of the 17th of January. That has started and is projected to go about 10 months to get that thing completed. After all these years, it'll be a welcome sight, I think, for the community. Now, next I've got to, on March 19th, Beth Rupert and Warren held a meeting. She is the service coordinator for the Jefferson County Resource Network. And she held a meeting with regard, the aim was to review the overall transportation needs of Jefferson County. And she had a good attendance. Several of the items that were discussed have been addressed with regard to this transportation study report that I'm going to present to you later. So she's opened up the situation where she's going to mail out surveys to Jefferson County individuals, homeowners, for them to fill out the survey, hopefully get a decent return on it. But there is a definite need, especially in the outlying areas, to service the people for various reasons, and I'll get into that with the report. Next item, March 20, that item. A couple of resolutions were passed with regard to funding additional projects in the amount of $30,000 for BHJ projects. Two individuals, Cody and Matt, that I discussed before, transportation engineers, they put together a report, and I made available today for the benefit of not only the mayor, but for the benefit of the members of this council. Excuse me. This is the report that was prepared. It's very detailed, and generally speaking, it was a result of surveys with business owners, schools, several other means of acquiring information, but a lot came through the census report review. And it spells out a lot of information. And if you do have a chance, the mayor has a copy of this. I gave it to him today. If you had a chance just to kind of get hold of his copy and look it over, I think it'd be beneficial to you, because It really spells a lot of information, which I'll give you in some detail synopsis tonight as to the community at large and the transportation needs. Excuse me. This report here is quite lengthy, and it details a lot of information pertaining to several areas of concern and several areas and agencies and individuals they contacted to develop the information overall. This is a draft report and it was presented on the 21st and should be reviewed by the community who wants to review it. And then they can find the information back to BHJ, and this report will be handled administratively as far as any corrections or input, and then it will be passed for consideration by the policy committee at the next meeting, I believe. Now, with regard to this, there are several ways and means of them, two individuals, developing the information, and they call this thing trip-generated items, and it's a means of analyzing contacts with employers and businesses to determine the need for transportation of their employees when they were interviewed. That was the means that they used to generate this information that I'll give you. Several cities and villages within the county were contacted, employers, and this trip-generated information was located generally in review of companies and individuals within Steubenville, Wintersville, and some other area, Mingo, and that's about it. The other communities are so small, they weren't contacted to give any real information in total like the others were. The main thing is this report spells out many things that you can look at. Population trends for now and the future doesn't look very good for this community all the way up to 2050. Probably a drop of about 16 million people from the current level right now. That's in the county. So it doesn't look good for the community with regard to that overall. Other information with regard to, even they detailed race and the areas that all members of the races were located within Jefferson County, spelled that out. It spelled out the areas that had people that were disabled and needed transportation needs. Poverty levels were discussed as to their location, not specific names, but people completed these surveys and provided the information accordingly. Vehicles that people had for use was also addressed and spelled out. And one area that I was amazed at, the northern part of Toronto has a problem with regard to having no vehicles for transportation needs. In connection to Steel Valley, my association with them, the council up there was approached with regard to consideration of a levy, and they didn't want anything to do with it. Even though the people that came to our meetings and other meetings I attended felt there was a need for transportation, and Steel Valley has told this group, you must get the council to approve a levy, have it passed in order to provide the transportation you're requesting. Excuse me. And but they turned them down. With regard to housing and individuals that live in housing as to income and the amount that live in the properties, both homeowner and rental. They were asked to provide information regarding automobiles available for transportation. Place of work, they were contacted with regard to development status, and they're in this report, quite detailed, pages 24 through 37, identify transportation position, needs, and location of businesses within the area. Excuse me. Also discussed was the population in the area and its consideration of with regard to addressing people 65 years and older. They go to that detail. Also, people like I mentioned up in Toronto that had no vehicle or means of transportation. Therefore, they needed to have some kind of local transportation or means to provide for them to get around, to work, and all kinds of different things, health issues and all. In this book here, this draft, it had a breakdown of the actual survey that was presented to all the community. And overall, the two individuals felt it was a reasonable return of their survey, answering all these questions that were put to their attention. And it's amazing, the younger people all the way up until about 50, 40, weren't very positive with regard to the survey, but the people that 40, 50 and above, they were quite positive. They addressed the actual survey and returned it. And that's where you got a lot of this information regarding age, disability, income, etc. So overall, if you had a chance to look at it, it's a very detailed report. You don't have to you can flip through it fairly quickly, and you see the headlines of the areas, and some of it's quite amazing. Also, I gave him Jefferson County and Brooke and Hancock County. These are two reports by each representative county covering all of these areas that I've discussed. And it breaks down all the information, which I'm not going to get into because basically what I talked about this report. So if you get a chance, the mayor's got a copy, and you can look it over, okay?
Bob, are those reports online at all? Are those reports online, or are they just hard copies at this point?
These, the draft is.
The draft is online?
And I believe the other two, once you go in there and look at them, the coordinated transit human services plan for both the three counties. It's there, you can look at it. And if not, it's here. Or you can get hold of me and look at my copy. It's not that deal to get detail to get that stuff done.
What's that, on the BHJ website? Is it on the BHJ website, those copies?
Pardon me?
Those copies that are online?
Yeah, BHJMONPO.org.
There's a number on that site you can track down, I'm sure.
Other than that, that's most of what I tried to get to you. It's rather long with regard to that, those reports and those drafts, but I think the boys did a heck of a good job and it's beneficial to this community. And overall, the draft will be presented, as I said, at VHJ, probably next meeting, and it'll pass, I'm sure. That's
well, when you get dealing with Mike Paparocki and Beth Warren, they are very detailed people and have the best in mind for the community. So those are good, solid people. You didn't talk about Seven Ranges, our last Seven Ranges meeting.
Yes.
The three things did come out of that Seven Ranges meeting. One of them, the first one was The money was distributed, the tax monies that was collected, that have been collected, was distributed to the fire departments, and everybody was happy. And now we're expecting to get their reports on how many responses they had, and that's always one of the most remarkable aspects of being on that part, is to see how many responses these entities actually do between the 7 ranges, the collection of the 7 ranges there. The other thing that we wanted to just make mention is both Bob's term and my term on 7 ranges are up, and we need to be renominated. Myself as the council representative, and Bob is the Wintersville citizen. So at some point, we'll need a nomination and second on that, Randy.
Okay.
And the last thing that was brought up, it was briefly discussed again, Jake, about a possible ordinance about calling 911. So that just came on up. I'm sure you'll be approached. I'm sure it's work in motion here. I don't know if you have an update or not. If you don't, that's fine. But
Not particularly. I still have to, I had made contact with the Stowe law director, and they put it in a very similar ordinance, and he was gonna get back to me on an email about if they've had any trouble with it and how they put it in.
Stowe, Ohio?
Yes.
Go
'cause that-
Bulldogs.
Yep.
Go Bulldogs. Okay, so that, other than that, we'll just need that nomination, Randy.
Okay.
I am a member of that board, but unfortunately, I was ill with the flu at that meeting, so I couldn't make it. But my
Oh, that's right.
stalwart mate did a good
Yeah.
job.
I'll cover for you on occasion, Bob. You covered my back a couple times, too.
Thank you, young man,
Yeah,
from an old guy.
yeah.
Anything else?
Thank you, Mr. Lockhart.
Thank you.
Thank you for your research.
Moving on to the mayor's report, since it was such late notice, I don't have a whole lot for the mayor's report, but we might as well go with the nomination. Can I get a nomination for Bob Lockhart to continue to be the village resident representative for 7 Ranges?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone? Yay. Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
And can I also get a motion for Jason Mattern to continue as council representative for 7 Ranges?
So moved.
Second. Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone? Yay. Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
And Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Okay, the floor is all yours, Mr. Administrator.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Real quick, water meters. So we've been installing water meters through the village. It's been going slow, but it's going to start picking up. We are starting to call people. We're going to start calling you at home or call your phone to get this set up. We want to get this done. We're down to about roughly around 260 meters left to do. 29 of those are meters that we had to order, which are going to take anywhere from 4 months to 6 months, maybe a little bit longer. It depends. They're special meters. They're expensive. So there might be more meters as we go. I'll have another report in 2 weeks. We're going to give you a call. If you see the Village of Wintersville pop up on your ID, it's going to be us. We want to get these meters scheduled, get them put in. We also want to, and we know a lot of people work daylight, so we're going to pick out a couple days a week to start to do evening installs. There'll be 2 employees from the Village of Wintersville doing installs at all times. There will be not one person going into a residence by themselves. So we're going to start with the evenings, and then we're going to move up to possibly weekends towards the end to get this done. I want to get this closed, and I want to move on. So next time you pay your bill, they may ask you if you got your water meter in. They're going to check the list. Give us a call at 264-7171 between 8 and 4. You can leave a message after hours. You can also email us, waterclerk1@wintersvilleoh.us, waterclerk2, wintersvilleoh.us. You can also email me as well, administrator@wintersvilleoh.us. Give me a call, 264-266-3175. I'll talk to you. Just want to get these done. The next thing, the USDA loan. If everything goes as scheduled, in 2 weeks, we're going to close. The USDA will be up here at the next council meeting, 2 representatives. We're going to have that done, and then I think we're going to close that week of the 22nd. So that will be the mayor and fiscal officer, and I think myself will have to sign papers. And then what's going to happen is, we have, since this has been going on because of COVID, the medium-duty dump truck is at OS Hill in St. Clairsville right now, sitting there. The plow truck is not even built yet. The enclosed trailer that we ordered for the water department is still up at Tom's Trailers in Burgettstown. They're the one that won the bid. The lady's been awesome. She had put a note on it, do not sell per Wintersville. They haven't sold it. They still have it. They have it in the garage. God bless her on that. I told her, I was like, we're going to buy this. She's like, she understood. So thank you to her and them for holding it. We're going to be getting that probably in a couple weeks. The police department is, we're going to order a 2024 Dodge Durango. So what's good about this USDA closing is we're not going to get the aero board or the traffic cones, thank you, because the life of the cones are not 10 years. The life of the aero board is technically not 10 years, but it is. What they're going to do is, due to the whole situation with COVID and the price jumped on everything, the $325,000 is going to go for the 2 trucks. The $50,000 grant side is going to be wrote under bond counsel to the police department, or to the police car. That's going to save us $8,400 for the life of the 10-year loan, because we're going to buy the police car on the grant side, so it's going to be no interest. Our bond counsel will go up a little bit, for the closing on that, which is fine. So after all said and done, we'll have $1,000 or less in our favor. So that's good. We can close on it, and then our first payment will be due 1 year from closing. So that's going to be a good thing. I'm happy about it, because this has been going on for, almost 2.5 years. The dog park. So all the papers have been signed. The notice to proceed has been signed. We took the playground equipment, took it down. The shed that belonged to the church, Crossroads Church, yes, they came and got it. So that's taken care of. They were going to start this week, but the rain kind of postponed that. They'll be here next week and get things started. We got to the big thing is we got to have a rules set in place, dog rules and stuff like that. So by next meeting, I'll have something in place that we can all agree on, and they're going to create a sign. It's kind of like a big thing for this project. So I've been looking around and talking to other people about that. The fuel tank project. So if everything goes correctly, sometime after the 11th, probably between April 11th and April 15th, we'll be online. They got to do the final inspections. They got to do the fire inspector's got to do his report. The gentleman that's doing all our testing will be here. He's going to get that completed. The permit we have to take the old tank out, Riley's is going to take that tank out and dispose of it. So we'll have fuel in our fuel tank and our diesel tank as well. And once everything's good to go, we can start using it. We'll get trained on the computer side of it to put our code in, which means that every car every piece of equipment that takes fuel or whatever is going to have a new number, which is going to go with our logos as well. The police have their numbers, we have ours, and that's kind of working out well for everybody. So on a side note, that I just got a notification today, the TAP project funding through ODOT through BHJ for sidewalks, we were approved. It's going to be for Caddis Road. We're in the process now of getting things together. It's probably going to start around next year. It's about $441,000, and it's an 80-20 match as of now. We're going to have to pay about $88,000 or less, because I was told When we originally did this, it was through ODOT, and it was a 90-10 project, but BHJ controls TAP funding, so we had a meeting with them, and that's kind of where we're at right now. That may change as it goes, but John McDivitt did the engineering report. They're going to do their part on it, and we're going to move along with that. So that'll be done after the pavement is done on Caddis Road. And that's all I really have right now, if anybody has any questions.
I just have one. Did the trucks have all been ordered? Has the chief ordered the new Dodge Durango?
I just gave him an email this morning to go ahead and order.
Jesse, I got a question. With all the excess rain, storm, flooding that we've had recently, did we experience any hiccups here within the village? I know in the past, we had some drainage issues, collection down by Locust Park, and we actually had to get industrial roto-rooter to go on out and clean out some of this. Did we experience any of that in the village at all this time around?
We didn't have many issues. There was like a storm drain that overflowed down on Gumps and Sam's Way, but we had no issues. The issues that we did have were from the power outage a couple weeks ago. That was a separate thing. But as far as the rain, no, because the street department and everybody made sure that the drains were cleared, and we're good.
So just your normal preventive maintenance kind of activities
Yes.
could be expected moving forward?
Yes.
Come on. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
The biggest hiccup we had was the generator, right?
All right, so real quick on that, the generator didn't turn on when we had that power outage a couple weeks ago. So what happened was the fuel pump did not engage, which turned out to, when this power outage happened, our city radio system that we've had since 0809, it fried the repeater system. Also, the new water meter control breaker box, it fried a breaker in that. Also, the lift stations were affected by that. There was electric panels that were fried. So I'm getting together. This was an issue by AEP. AEP, I think, hit a main line. They did something for like a repair, which caused this to happen. So I'm getting all the bills that we had due to that electrical issue or whatever. I contacted our insurance because we're probably about around $8,000 right now in repairs. We have a $2,500 deductible, and I asked McBain if we had coverage listed at that. I wanted to confirm that we did, and we do. So once that's all taken care of, once I get all the bills that were paid out, we'll probably file a claim on that. So it was just something that happened. Things happen, and then we'll get it fixed.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
There's no retribution on AEP's part?
Probably not. A lot of utilities are immune from stuff like that. But like I said, it wasn't an act of God. It was an issue with AEP. So I'm talking with them further about it as I get my all my data collected for the cost that we paid out for this.
Even if they would cover the deductible?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
If there isn't any more questions, we'll move on to unfinished business. Anybody? Okay. New business.
Beautification committee meeting, we are meeting the third Wednesdays of every month, 5:30 at the Valley Wine Cellar. We have a lot of projects, fundraising projects in the works, and we will be a presence at the Wednesdays in Wintersville with a booth, and we will be working on various fundraising items out from the booth and publicizing those as well.
Okay, thank you.
Randy, I just wanted to make a little talking point on the uncertainty surrounding Eastern Gateway Community College. That community college has been an asset for this area for many, many years. There's been tens of thousands of individuals that have gone through that school for whatever reason. They could have been a student that maybe just wanted to get that associate's degree, or it could have been that student that wasn't quite ready or prepared to go to a Kent State, Ohio State, or wherever. And it's also an opportunity for many displaced workers. And we got a few of those coming up here with the mill closing here. So we had a meeting today. I'm on the advisory board committee for respiratory therapy up there, and we had a nice little meeting today. And it really seems apparent that the future of that school really lays in the hands of Youngstown State and what happens at the state level and what happens at the county commissioners. So if you do have, time to bend the ear of a county commissioner, I would strongly do so. That community college is a tremendous asset and a very great opportunity for education moving forward. That's a good story. Another good story is what some of these department heads are doing at Eastern Gateway, like Katie Compton, Mary Beth Emmerich. They are working hard to make sure their departments who are certified through the state and all their credentialing's good, that they have a sponsor. If they don't have the Eastern Gateway sponsor, who is that going to be? And Dr. Kelly Colwell from Youngstown State has really stepped up and has things in place to continue this educational programs of some of these departments that are up there at Eastern Gateway. And that's a tremendous story that maybe Harold Starr can pick up, that there's a sub-story to this that needs to be told of the great work that Katie Compton and Mary Beth Emmerich and Kelly Colwell is doing to try to make sure we got educational opportunities for everybody. It's just not kids going to school here. It's an opportunity for displaced workers and people that needed a career change. And that Eastern Gateway, there was also a woman in our meeting today. Her name was Bonita, and she was welled up, practically in tears. And she said if it wasn't for that community college, she would not be where she is today. And she was on the verge of tears during this meeting. So that Eastern Gateway, I really hope it works out. I really hope things get settled sooner rather than later, because this whole community, this whole area, this whole valley is better off with that school involved and active. So thank you for the time. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Matter. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have one. Indian Creek had a job fair in the booth over there today, and I was there before I got here, and there was a lot of compliments saying that Wintersville's up and coming. So the mayor, council, and everybody who's a part of Wintersville is going into the right direction. So I thought that was a pretty good compliment.
That's good to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I don't believe we have any transfers tonight, do we, Rachel? We have the bills in front of you. Can I get a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Matter?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone? Yay. Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Okay, our next meeting will be Thursday, April 18th at 7 p.m. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Matter?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone? Yay. Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
You're fine.
We good, Rebecca? You need anything signed?